back. The Toronto Maple Leafs against the Tampa Bay Lightning. What's interesting with this is that, of course, this is where I'd have the no mercy magnet if I was using those in the playoffs. I'm not. But yeah, it is interesting how these teams tend to blow each other out of the water. So Toronto does Tampa, Tampa did Toronto. Again, that's regular season. This is playoffs. Totally different beast. I'll be interested to see how Tampa Bay bounces back in game two. Winning 3 straight Stanley Cups is so difficult. It has not happened for about 40 years for a reason. And tonight, the Toronto Maple Leafs, they weren't messing around. Clearly, Sheldon Keefe meant it when he said this is going to be a tough series, and the Leafs did not look like, well, the Leafs tonight. It was Vasilevsky versus Campbell. Bolts press first shift, and they test Campbell early on. And Campbell passed that test with flying colors. Nylander has a rush chance that's saved. There's an early power play for Tampa Bay because they had a good press. Tight checking, good kill by the Leafs, and it's all done. They killed it off. The shots are 2 apiece at 4.5 minutes, although I noticed that they dropped one of the Tampa Bay shots later on, so I guess one of them didn't count. Although that comes and goes during a game, I try not to pay too much attention to it. So Marner can't bury one in close. I'm wearing my Marner jersey. You know what's interesting is from the old house right now, what I have with me is 2 jerseys for each team. I grabbed my Marner. There you go. So Clifford goes to the box, and this is where things start to get ugly. He gets a 5-minute boarding call for what happened with Ross Colton, which the crowd didn't agree with, and clearly the Leafs didn't agree with either. So that's a 5-minute power play. Kerfoot hits a post on a shorthanded 2-on-1. Really aggressive penalty kill. Brody has a shorthanded chance that's saved, and the fans are going crazy. Then there's a near miss for Giordano shorthanded. Stamkos had a shot that was saved, and that's the only shot on that 5-minute power play. And I think that's because Toronto had a really good game plan, and they just seem to be feeding on the energy from the crowd, which is what you should be doing in the playoffs, right? You should be feeding on that. You should be trying to generate a lot of cheers, get the crowd on your side, and I think they did a good job of that tonight. And Leaf fans are probably pretty excited right now. All right. Stamkos has a shot there. Yeah, I already read that. Leafs then get a power play. The Bolts killed that off, though, and the Bolts had a really aggressive penalty kill as well. Matthews has a blast escape to side. Engvall has a chance that's saved after the power play ends. The shots are 6-3 for the Leafs with 5 minutes left. So for all the notes that I'm writing down, for all the things that have happened, there's not very many shots that have tested the goaltenders to this point in the game. At least not that were on net. Nylander has a net drive that draws a power play. Marner has a chance that's saved. Bolts have a really strong penalty kill that kills it. However, Toronto gets the lead. It's Jake Muzzin with a shot from the point. It was a screenshot. Kasha and Mikheyev with the assists at 18-19. Bolts try to answer, and then in the last minute, Nylander had a break and he was denied. So while we get a lot of points for Maple Leafs tonight, none for Nylander, who was very prominent for a lot of this game. So he's going to get on the board. But it's 1-0 Toronto after 1. Second period. Early press by the Leafs. Campbell loses sight of one, but he holds onto it. And then there's some shoving after that. Bolts press. Near miss for Nick Paul. Power play then for Tampa. Excellent penalty kill again for Toronto. Fantastic. Shorthanded Camp rush draws a Bolts penalty. We get a brief 4-on-4, and then the Leafs have a power play. Marner has a shot that deflects out. We end up with 1 minute and 4 seconds of 5-on-3 hockey. The Leafs call a timeout before that. I will say, referees tonight, opening night of the playoffs, seem to call things pretty tight. Whatever was a penalty during the regular season appears to be a penalty during the playoffs as well, which will upset some people. Personally, I think that's fine. I think it's fine to have a standard and keep it that way. So, and I don't think Leaf fans are going to be that upset because look at the result. It was fine. So during the 5-on-3, they score. It's Matthews from Marner and Tavares at 6:18. Then during the 5-on-4 that followed that, there's a shorthanded Paul net feed that was blocked. The Bolts did kill off the 5-on-4, and then they get a power play. Point has a shot that's saved. Hedman's shot was blocked, and then it's a shorthanded goal, and it's Kampf. He scores at 9:27 on a breakaway, on a turnover, and this is 3-0, and this is where I said, I can't see the Leafs losing a 3-goal lead at home in the first game of the playoffs. Can't see it. So the Leafs finished the kill, but they went right back to the box. Cirelli has a chance that's saved. Hedman has one that's saved, and that's where the soup chants are getting louder and louder and louder for Jack Campbell, right? Mikheyev nearly gets a shorthanded break. Stamkos can't bury one. The Leafs clear it out. And it's killed off. 3 shots allowed. Hagel then had a rush chance that was saved and held. The Bolts press with 5.5 minutes left. Things are pushy and shovey after a save by Vasilevsky. There's momentum for Tampa, but the puck goes the other way and it's in the net. And it's Mitch Marner, who's waited a while for a goal in the playoffs. He scores from Riley and Matthews at 16:39. And it was a nice goal. He just outweighted Vasilevsky, made him commit, and then put the puck in the net. Kasha then nearly adds another. Things get scrummy on a whistle in the final minute. We end up with 2 minutes of 4-on-4 out of that, so that rolls over into the third period. Good start for the Matthews line. Nylander can't bury one as the Leafs press, so there's Nylander on the board again. Engvall has a net drive that won't go. There's a near miss for Marner in close. The Leafs shot blocking, no good press, no good looks for the Bolts at that point. Stamkos has a shot that's blocked. Sergachev's was held. And then at 8:16, Toronto adds another because why not? It's Austin Matthews with the second goal of the night from Kasha and Riley. Simmons then with a hit that draws a cheer. It was a clean hit, but it ticked off the Bolts. And I think it probably ticked them off because the score is 5-0 and Simmons is still out there running. So, and I get it. I totally get it. This is a Leafs team that has been told for years that they're too soft, they can't play playoff hockey. I get why Simmons is throwing the body there, but I also get why Tampa Bay might have been kind of upset with the hit. So he didn't engage when he was provoked. The Leafs end up getting a power play out of basically a line brawl that would take place after that. And you end up with 4 minutes of a power play for Toronto with 9:51 left. Marner fans on one. Liljegren nearly adds one. A review confirms the puck doesn't go in the net because even the referees were like, how did that not go in? Mikheyev then had a chance that was blocked. After the kill, there's more pushing when Campbell makes the save and holds onto it. The Bolts press. They cannot get to the net. So this was Leafs playing tough hockey, physical hockey, good defense. Their goaltending was fantastic. Hagel's denied on a rush. There was a post for Stamkos. And the Leafs close out what is the second career playoff shutout for Jack Campbell. So it's kind of a perfect game. Toronto wins 5-0. And again, I will be very interested to see how Tampa Bay answers this. 3 stars aren't important in this one. What's important is there were 118 minutes in penalties, 56 for Tampa and 62 for Toronto. So looking forward to the next game. And we'll see whether or not there's any suspension, fine resulting from this game at all, right? So the shots in this one were 8-5 Toronto in the first, 11 apiece in the second, 12-7 Toronto in the third. Final shots 31-23 for the Leafs. Power plays, Tampa Bay 0 for 5. Toronto 1 for 7. So 12 power plays in this game. Hits were 56-36 for Tampa. That's just ridiculous. 92 hits. That's when you know it's playoff hockey. Vasilevsky saves 29 out of 34. And Jack Campbell, 23 shots for a shutout. That's how you start the playoffs. So for Toronto, they're up 1-0. I know it's early. But sure, right now, the Leafs look like they're in good shape. And according to all the odds and all the betting stuff they were talking about before the game, whoever wins out of this series is going to be seen as one of the favorites to end up winning the Stanley Cup. And by one of, I mean, like, I think they were 4th in the overall. Both of them were a plus 1,000, which was like 4th. Anyways, we'll see if Toronto ends up being that team. They've got 3 more wins left. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And yes, I'm keeping the 4 and 5 on the board in case there's overtime and then double overtime. And I've got 9 of each goal magnet on every board. So this is going to be fun. All right, let me know your thoughts, as always, about this game. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.